electronic devices.
I now invite our esteemed faculty and honored guests on stage to please stand as we will now have Dr. Jill Richardson, the Director of Student Affairs, and Mrs. Hetty Ha, the PharmD Student Affairs Advisor, usher in the students of the Doctor of Pharmacy Class of 2027. I'd like to now ask everyone to please rise if you are able to join Dr. Nana Nsua, Health Sciences Assistant Clinical Professor, as she sings the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we'd watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
I have to confess, I get emotional every time I hear the national anthem sung, but Dr. Nsua, thank you, heartfelt thank you. That was absolutely beautiful, thank you. Please be seated. Good afternoon. I'm Megan Nguyen, Founding Associate Dean of Pharmacy Student Affairs, and on behalf of the faculty and staff in the School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences, I have the honor and privilege to welcome all of you, our distinguished guests, proud parents, family and friends here today, and most importantly, the exceptional students of the class of 2027. Welcome to the Doctor of Pharmacy White Coat Ceremony at the University of California, Irvine. Students, today we gather here not just to celebrate the beginning of your journey into the profession, but to recognize and welcome the limitless potential that lives within each and every one of you. As you embark on this remarkable journey, I encourage you to embrace it in 3 significant ways. Number 1, make the pursuit of knowledge your North Star. Seek it tirelessly, because with knowledge comes power and your ability to be able to help patients and the community further. Number 2, lead with compassion and let it be your guiding light. Beyond the science, remember the humanity in healthcare. Let your interactions with your patients be deeply rooted in empathy and compassion. Number 3, embrace innovation and be the agents of change. As a matter of fact, you've already accepted that by being among the founding classes in a new School of Pharmacy. This embarkment upon a new school is already reflective of that forward-thinking mindset. These choices will forever change you. They will make you stronger, more resilient. Your creativity will be challenged, but it will also give you the courage you will learn to be able to create new pharmacist roles and be able to transform the profession, but not just the profession, but the way healthcare is delivered, so that it is more accessible, and that it is more personalized, and it is more effective. I also want to take a moment to thank the admissions committee, which many of the faculty here are behind me. They carefully selected each and every one of you. You bring a diverse set of talents and experiences. 89% of you speak a second language, from Spanish, Vietnamese, Japanese, Korean, Arabic, Mandarin, Bengali, Hindi, Farsi to French, and many, many more. Among you is a founder and producer of several podcast channels, a business owner of a pizza restaurant, a former teacher, engineer, interior designer, head chef, and a Taekwondo instructor. It sounds like this class will be well-fed and all fundraisers well-broadcasted and funds well-protected. Academically, we know you put in countless hours studying to prepare you for this next step. The average cumulative GPA of this class entering is at a 3.47, which is higher than the national GPA average of admitted pharmacy students year after year, 15 years to be exact. The highest entering overall GPA stands at a 3.91, and science GPA is at a 4.0. And to think, you achieved all this with nearly every other seat being filled by a first-generation college student, and with many of you working part-time while in school. That's incredible. So just incredible. So to the class of 2027, I say welcome to this dynamic profession. Welcome to your white coat ceremony. And most importantly, welcome to a future filled with limitless possibilities. Embrace it, nurture it, and may your journey be as remarkable as your potential is limitless. Family and friends, please join me in giving these students a round of applause for reaching this next milestone. I now have the honor to introduce Dr. Jan Hirsch, Professor and Founding Dean of UC Irvine School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences. Dean Hirsch joined UCI in January 2019 and led the School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences to become the first public pharmacy school in the Los Angeles Orange County region in July 2020. Dean Hirsch is an acclaimed researcher, pharmacist, and organizational leader. Her research interests are focused in the areas of pharmacoeconomics and outcomes research. More specifically, the assessment of economic, clinical, and humanistic values of pharmacy services and pharmaceuticals, and integrating patient-reported outcomes into pharmaceutical and medical practices to improve patient management. Dean Hirsch holds a Bachelor of Science degree in pharmacy and a master's and PhD in pharmacy administration from the University of South Carolina. Before joining UCI, she served as professor and chair of the Division of Clinical Pharmacy at UC San Diego's Skaggs School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences. Prior to returning to academia, Dean Hirsch spent 14 years in the pharmaceutical and managed care industries. She established and managed outcomes research departments for 2 pharmaceutical companies, Glaxo Group Research and Allergan, and a pharmacy benefit management company, Prescription Solutions. She is also a distinguished fellow of the Get the Medications Right Institute, a distinguished scholar and fellow for the National Academies of Practice in Pharmacy, and a recipient of numerous awards. Along with this tremendous community of students, faculty, and staff, Dean Hirsch is positioning our school to be a leader in pharmacy and pharmaceutical sciences innovation, from drug discovery to clinical practice. Please join me in welcoming Dean Hirsch.
Thank you, Dr. Wynn, for that very kind introduction. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. First, I'd like to say thank you to all the friends and family who have joined us today in support of these who are their students. I am very pleased to welcome our class of 2027 Doctor of Pharmacy students to their white coat ceremony. Okay, loosen up, guys, okay? Loosen up, all right? You're here. Yeah. You can't see this, but some of them are holding their white coats like this. Like this. It's like, relax, okay? I would like to extend a special thank you to our school's faculty, many of whom are on the stage here, and staff. I offer my deepest appreciation for your hard work and dedication. We would not be where we are today without your unwavering commitment to our vision, our school, and our students. Additionally, I would like to take this time to acknowledge the meaningful impact of the White Coat Fund and thank all who have supported this year's cohort and helped to personally welcome each one of these students into our Anteater family. Students, your white coat is made possible through the generosity of our faculty, alumni, and community members who have contributed to our White Coat Fund. May the quote embroidered in the inside collar of each one of your coats serve as an inspiration throughout your time in the PharmD program. The white coat that you will receive today very shortly represents your devotion to the pursuit of pharmacy education, your promise to care for patients, and your pledge to uphold the oath of a pharmacist. This ceremony marks an important milestone for you, our student pharmacists. You're not just students anymore, you're student pharmacists. And it's an important milestone for our school also. As our third PharmD class, you are continuing to lay the foundation for student pharmacists who will follow you and build the legacy of the UC Irvine School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences. You are making history today. Our PharmD program was established in tandem with the founding of our school in 2020, along with our BS in Pharmaceutical Sciences, our MS in Pharmacology, our PhD in Pharmacological Sciences programs, and the support of the other 3 schools that are part of the Susan and Henry Samueli College of Health Sciences, which are medicine, nursing, and public health. Our PharmD program is part of an expansive network of interprofessional healthcare education. You may be entering the ceremony with a picture in your mind of what your time will look like here in this PharmD program. I can assure you, the next 4 years will surpass anything you are able to imagine at this point in time. Your experiences will surpass anything that you're thinking about right now. And your experiences will be memorable to you, but they will be challenging as they will be rewarding. So students, I have a question for you. This is the first quiz of the day. And Dr. Nguyen didn't tell you there will be quizzes, right? It's a pop quiz. Do you remember how I signed the letter that said I would like to offer you admissions to our School of Pharmacy? What did I put on the bottom of that? Anybody remember? Okay, we won't hold this against you. I signed it, Audentus Fortuna Uwat. And what does that mean? Fortune favors the bold. You are the bold. You are the bold because you're sitting in those chairs. In becoming a pharmacist, you will be able to make a monumental impact on your community, regardless of where you end up practicing. You have all been chosen, and we heard great things, accolades. You have all been chosen for your brilliance. We heard that you're crazy smart. Your work ethic, which I can say might be challenged in the next 4 years. And most importantly, your commitment to helping others, which you will be able to realize in so many ways over the next 4 years. You will emerge from this program as a driving force for advancing the health and wellness of individuals and society by implementing new solutions to optimize medication usage and working as part of a team of professionals, a team that includes physicians and nurses and public health specialists, all working to improve patient outcomes in a cost-effective manner. So at this point, I would just like to say congratulations on this incredible achievement at this point, and welcome to our school. We are all looking forward to helping you on your journey and seeing the really great things that you're going to accomplish. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dean Hirsch, for your warm welcome. It is now with great pleasure that I introduce our keynote speaker for this momentous occasion, Dr. Lucinda Main. Her presence and remarks will most certainly leave an indelible impression on these students. Dr. Main is the CEO Emerita of the American Association of Colleges of Pharmacy, AACP. Dr. Main served as Executive Vice President and CEO of the American Association of Colleges of Pharmacy from 2002 until 2022. AACP serves as the leading advocate for high-quality pharmacy education, not just in the US, but around the world. Prior to assuming her role in July 2002, Dr. Main served as Senior Vice President for Policy, Planning and Communications with the American Pharmacists Association, APHA. Dr. Main is a pharmacy graduate of Auburn University and receives her doctorate at the University of Minnesota. She has also received honorary degrees from Western University and Ohio Northern University. In her academic career, Dr. Main served on the faculty at the University of Minnesota, where she practiced in the field of geriatrics and was the Associate Dean of Student and Alumni Affairs at the Samford University School of Pharmacy. Dr. Main has been active in leadership roles in and out of the profession. Prior to joining the APHA staff, she served as Speaker of the APHA House of Delegates and as an APHA trustee. She currently serves as a board member and vice chair of the American Foundation for Pharmaceutical Education and is a founding board member and current president of the Alliance for Integrated Medication Management. Dr. Main has been honored with several prestigious awards, including the University of Minnesota Outstanding Alumnus Award, the Linwood Tice Friend of APHA ASP Award, the Gloria Niemeyer Frank Leadership Mentor Award, and the Remington Honor Medal from the American Pharmacists Association. In 2023, she received the newly renamed Mary Euler National Leadership Award from Phi Lambda Sigma. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Dr. Lucinda Main.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction and for your welcoming comments and yours. Sets the stage beautifully for what I hope to share with the class of 2027. So Dean Hirsch, faculty, family and friends, and especially the class of 2027. I feel so privileged to have been invited to provide this keynote, marking the beginning of the journey of your class as you take your first steps toward entering what I truly believe is the best profession on the planet. But wow, 2027 probably sounds like a long time from now. And in some ways, it is many years away. But trust me when I say that the time will fly by if you play your cards right. That was certainly true for me when I entered the BS in Pharmacy program at Auburn University in 1976. And now that was a long time ago. What a marvelous journey I have enjoyed over almost 50 years of my pharmacy career. As I reflect on what has made this life so rewarding, I think of 4 words that I want to share with you as you begin your own pharmacy career journeys. The 4 words are no, yes, no, and ikigai. Now, I know you're probably thinking, she said no twice, so it's only 3 words, so it'll be short. But the first no is not N-O, but K-N-O-W. I too was fooled earlier this month when a speaker on a leadership panel I participated in twisted our English language to focus on K-N-O-W rather than N-O. So let's start with K-N-O-W. The reason you are here at the almost brand new UC Irvine School of Pharmacy is because you want to know a lot about medications and how they work. The curriculum and the faculty behind us here absolutely guarantee that the outcome of your next 4 academic years is a body of knowledge about medications and their use that will be unparalleled. There's not another profession that holds a candle to pharmacists when considering your knowledge about medications, and there are so many more products and therapeutic categories to learn about in comparison to those on the market when I entered pharmacy school. So good luck. There are 2 things I'd like you to keep in mind regarding what you know about medications. The first is that the rate of discovery of new therapeutics is moving very rapidly. It often surprises audiences when I reflect on the fact that when I was in school, we did not even know that HIV/AIDS was an emerging infectious disease that would take the lives of millions. It went from a certain death sentence to this day when it is not only curable, but also preventable. And both of these more favorable outcomes are due to the discovery and proper use of medications. In an increasing number of states, pharmacists are able to initiate these therapies independently or as part of collaborative practice agreements, including here in California. In fact, the cover story in the September issue of APHA's Pharmacy Today magazine describes pharmacists' growing role in this area of public health, noting that many individuals who should be using medications to prevent or treat HIV are not receiving therapy. This is a huge opportunity for us in pharmacy. I share this also to emphasize that no matter how much you learn in the next 4 years, you have to commit to a lifetime of continuing professional development, no matter which direction your career takes you. Fortunately, quality continuing education resources are always available from many, many sources, and I challenge you to plan to use them routinely throughout your career. The second thing I ask you to recognize about your knowledge is reflected in research published by none other than faculty and administrators at this School of Pharmacy. Deans Hirsch and Watanabe and colleagues replicated an analysis of a poorly understood component of our healthcare delivery system. That component is called many things, but I'll simply use the term medication-related problems. These issues are estimated to cost the healthcare system, according to their work, over $500 billion annually, and that is billion with a B, or approximately 1/8 of the total cost of healthcare expenditures each year. And much of that spending is avoidable. How? By pharmacists delivering high-quality, patient-centered, team-based care that is widely available, understood by other members of the healthcare team, and valued by both the public and those that set policy for payment to health professionals. This is our profession's top advocacy issue, and it's important that you know more about this so that you can become an agent of change throughout your careers, even now as a student pharmacist. So you might wonder, what does it take to become an agent of change for the profession? One answer that I have witnessed many times across the decade is that engagement takes many forms. And this is where the word yes comes into play. And right now is the best time for you to begin practicing saying yes. For me, it's in the fall of 1976. It was saying yes to joining a couple of professional organizations at the School of Pharmacy as a member. APHA-ASP was an obvious choice as it represented the broadest array of career opportunities in pharmacy, and it was a very strong advocate for pharmacists' future. I also joined a professional fraternity for more of the social aspects of becoming part of the profession. In time, I also said yes to some committee work and ultimately to run for a local office or 2. Local engagement is a minimum threshold for saying yes. Necessary, but not necessarily sufficient. The most life-changing yeses I articulated in the early days of my formal pharmacy education were toward the end of my P1 year, approximately 10 months from now for you all. The APHA-ASP national meeting that year was in New York City. Upperclassmen told me that I really should come with them and attend that meeting. When I said, yes, I'll come, then they told me, or I should say suggest strongly, that I interview with the national president-elect to be appointed to a national committee To be honest, I wasn't sure what that truly meant, but on their recommendation, I did it. I said yes. By the end of that day, I was on a committee, and I had become acquainted with the person who was going to be president of ASP for the next year. The APHA ASP meeting is in March in Orlando next year. Think about saying yes to the opportunity to attend. It could change your life. Time doesn't allow me to continue sharing how those fairly simple yes responses propelled me into every opportunity that constitutes my career. What it did that relates to being an agent of change is that it exposed me to some of the top leaders of our profession and to their aspirations for our future. You are fortunate that the leaders of this school are nationally recognized thought leaders. They interact with important leaders outside the profession, helping to increase the recognition that pharmacists can make a significant impact on individuals and populations by making sure that medication use achieves its intended outcomes and prevents unnecessary harm. They have said yes many times. So the third word is no, and that is the NO version. I have a quip that you should never let school interfere with your education. I think faculty probably have just winced when they hear that, but I feel so strongly that your engagement in professional organizations and interactions with thought leaders is so important that it has to be a priority for your own development. That said, the PharmD curriculum, as you have heard, is extremely rigorous. And it is essential that you gain command of a solid foundation of knowledge about diseases, medications, and the health systems in which you will be working. So sometimes it will be right to exercise no because of the need to balance your activities to spend the necessary time in academics. This balance will be different for each of you, so seek guidance from faculty and upperclassmen when presented with an opportunity for activities outside the classroom. And this relates to working for pay as well. I know that the cost of education has soared since I was a student, and that working part-time is a reality for many. I only worked summers in different areas of pharmacy, and that was sufficient such that I didn't work while in classes, a very simple existence compared to some of you, I am certain. But I was fortunate. So sometimes remember that no is actually the right answer. And now the fourth word has become my favorite. I attended a meeting in April focused on clinician well-being. This has become a major concern, not just in pharmacy, but across the health professions. Burnout and related consequences were present prior to the COVID pandemic, but the intense pressures imposed upon health professionals during the pandemic exacerbated the feelings of hopelessness for many. The keynote speaker at that meeting gave a presentation entitled Happiness at Work. It was excellent. He introduced me to the term Ikigai, and that's I-K-I-G-A-I, and I suspect some in the audience are familiar with it. And understand that finding your Ikigai zone can mean a lot for you and your own well-being. So if I had a slide, I'd show you 4 intersecting circles. The first circle is knowing what you are passionate about. I became passionate about improving medication use for elderly patients very early in my career. The second circle is what you're really good at, and that begins right now as you master your formal degree program and continues to progress with experience throughout your career. The third circle is what the world needs, and the world needs better medication management. And the final circle is that you can be fairly compensated for delivering what you're well prepared and passionate about delivering. This is still a work in progress and the top advocacy target across all pharmacy organizations. We're closer than we've ever been, but we're not there yet. So where are these 4 circles is the Ikigai zone. My gift and my challenge to the class of 2027 is that you keep these 4 circles at the forefront of your mind as you consider the numerous pathways that lie before you in your career. Each of you will likely have a unique career trajectory. Mine included time, both in academia and association management, which sound like very different pursuits. I realized quite recently that while, yes, the activities in teaching and association work are different in many ways, because of my advocacy for our future, one constant is that I was constantly educating different groups on pharmacists' important contributions. I also realized that throughout my career, I was working in my own Ikigai zone, and what a privilege that is. So no, yes, no, and Ikigai. These 4 simple words are the springboard to a marvelous and fulfilling career in the pharmacy profession. I wish in many ways that I was a classmate of yours, because the opportunities you have to truly make a difference are manifold greater than those that I imagined 50 years ago. I wish you all an Ikigai journey, and thank you for the invitation to be with you at your white coat moment, a springboard to all that lies ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Main, for your inspirational words. Students, you're very fortunate to have her here as she's traveled all the way from Washington, D.C. At this time, I'd like to ask Dean Hirsch to quote the class of 2027, and also Dr. Jonathan Watanabe, Founding Associate Dean for Assessment and Quality, to gift the first set of students with a special pin to wear on their white coats. At the bottom of the stage, the students will also be greeted by the student leaders in the inaugural class of 2025 and 2026. Michaela Boss, University of California, Irvine. Ann Bowie, University of California, Irvine. Sean Chen, University of California, Riverside. Muihua Cho, University of California, Irvine. Maggie Chow, University of California, Irvine. Helen Chow, University of California, Santa Barbara. Vivian Din, University of California, Irvine. Yekta Dinyari, University of California, Irvine. I would now like to invite Dr. Sarah McBain, Founding Associate Dean of Pharmacy Education, to gift the next set of students their pin. Tran Duan, University of California, Santa Cruz. Mintham Tracy Hua, University of California, Riverside. Bahara Homayuni, California State University, San Marcos. Lamisa Hossein, California State University, Long Beach. Sean Huang, University of California, Santa Barbara. Gabrielle Kelly, University of California, San Diego. Great Kim, University of California, San Diego. Ryan Kwok, University of California, Irvine. I would now like to invite Dr. Brian Pagel, Associate Dean for Research, to give the next set of students their pin. Kwa Lam, University of Colorado, Boulder. Christine Lay, University of California, Irvine. Tian Lei, University of California, Irvine. Grace Lim, University of California, Los Angeles. Kaylee Lopez, California State University, San Marcos. Sarah Mahasti, University of California, Riverside. I would now like to invite Dr. Melanie Joe, Founding Associate Dean for Pharmacy, Professional Affairs, and Chief Pharmacy Officer for UCI Health, to gift the next set of students their pin. Hannah Monyu, University of California, Irvine. Carmina Mansour, California Polytechnic State University, Pomona. Giovanna Molina, California State University, Long Beach. May Miet No, University of California, Irvine. Diba Najad, California State University, Long Beach. Albert Ngo, University of California, Irvine. Lokelani Nguyen, University of Hawaii at Manoa. Catherine Kancho Nguyen, University of California, Irvine. Catherine Milin Nguyen, University of California, Irvine. Hui Nguyen, University of California, Irvine. I would now like to invite Dr. Alexander Chan, Founding Department Chair of the Clinical Pharmacy Practice Department, to gift the next set of students their pin. Calvin Nguyen, University of California, Irvine. Kathleen Nguyen, University of California, Irvine. Katie Nguyen, University of California, Irvine. Leon Nguyen, University of California, Irvine. Lena Nguyen, University of California, Irvine. Mary Nguyen, University of California, Irvine. Tin Nguyen, University of California, Irvine. Elizabeth Robin Ogan, University of California, Irvine. I would now like to invite Dr. Andre Lutak, Department Chair of the Pharmaceutical Sciences Department, to gift the next set of students their pin. Saki Gaurang Patel, University of California, Irvine. Shivam Patel, University of California, Irvine. Kongmin Pen, University of California, Davis. Lehman Fan, University of California, Riverside. Sahar Sultani, California State University, Long Beach. Michael Stevens, California State University, Bakersfield. Manya Takmilnajad, University of California, Irvine. Stephanie Tam, University of California, Irvine. I would now like to invite Dr. Mahtab Jafari, Professor and Equity Advisor for the school, to gift the final set of students their pin. Bao Tran, University of California, San Diego. Nguyen Trung, University of California, Irvine. Homero Vasquez, University of California, Riverside. Vo, University of California, Irvine. Calvin Yang, University of California, Irvine. Cesar Zevallos, University of California, Irvine. Amin Zhang, University of California, Santa Cruz. Haoren Zhang, University of California, Irvine.
Congratulations, you look fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. They all look so much more relaxed now. So now it is my pleasure to introduce Jeff Yoon to give the congratulatory remarks. Mr. Yoon is a well-respected domestic and international speaker with over 32 years of compliance and regulatory experience, ensuring the quality of products in the pharmaceutical and biotech industries. He was a peace officer investigator with the state of California Food and Drug Branch and a consumer safety officer for the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. During his tenure with the U.S. FDA, he was rapidly promoted to the rank of commander in the U.S. Public Health Service. Mr. Yoon specialized in both high-priority drug and also biologic inspections. Mr. Yoon is a recipient of numerous U.S. Public Health Commendation and Achievement Medals, including a Hammer Award presented by Vice President Al Gore's office for his participation and leadership in the area of innovative biotechnology FDA industry outreach programs. Since leaving the FDA in 1998, Mr. Yoon has succeeded in launching a well-recognized independent consulting firm, Jeff Yoon and Associates, which is comprised of a unique balance of individuals who are former FDA national experts, specialists, investigators, chemists, biologists, microbiologists, as well as former industry, quality systems, compliance, and regulatory experts. He has also served as an acting transitional executive at a number of U.S. and international companies, holding positions such as head of quality, executive vice president of global quality, chief quality officer, and executive vice president. Well known for his mentoring, coaching, and love for teaching, Mr. Yoon excels at bringing out the best in companies. With a passion for operational excellence and performance, he has often served as a catalyst for organizational and cultural change, resulting in effective quality systems which emphasize the importance of right first time and proper root cause investigations and meaningful corrective and preventative actions initiatives to ensure quality pharmaceutical products. Mr. Yoon possesses a BS in Biological Sciences from UC Irvine, a Master's in Public Health from UCLA, and an MBA from National University. He is past president of the Parenteral Drug Association, Southern California chapter, and former board member for the Institute of Validation Technologies Journal of Current Good Manufacturing Practices. Recently, Commander Yoon was awarded the Distinguished Alumni Award for the School of Biological Sciences at UC Irvine. Mr. Yoon sits on a number of executive advisory boards, is a member of the Biocom FDA Committee, UCI's Biotechnology Advisory Board, UCI Extensions Advisory Board, and continues to teach at the Parenteral Drug Association Training Institute. And I am very proud to say that Mr. Yoon is also a founding member of my Dean's Leadership Council here at the University of California, Irvine School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences. So thank you, Mr. Yoon. Finally, I would like to take this opportunity to announce for the first time that Jeff and his wife Lynette, who is also with us today, and who is also an integral part of Yoon and Associates, I have learned, they have established an endowed scholarship to help support a student in the pursuit of the Doctor of Pharmacy degree here at UCI. Jeff and Lynette, we are so very grateful for your support of our school and our students, and I think we should all recognize them. So now I'm going to hand the podium over to Mr. Yoon.
Okay, so you guys do look really nice in your white coats. It's much whiter now than it was before when I was looking at the audience as far as those coats. I'm sure they're going to get a little more tarnished over time. But again, just congrats to the students and to the families, to the faculty, my friends, and some new friends that I've met along the way. I was going to say, I don't have a script. Okay, so I am going to be completely unplugged. I think Jan expects this from me sometimes. There's no pages here for me to look at, I noticed. So Megan, I didn't get that note. But anyways, let me do a couple things. I have very limited time and a lot to say. A lot of it is directed really at three things. Let me tell you a little bit about myself because I think it's an interesting story. Let me tell you what leadership really means because I expect all 57 of you to be leaders in this community, in the world that you serve, and your families. And then let me tell you a little bit about why I'm here. Okay, so let's talk about those three things really quick. My story kind of begins like a lot of Asian Americans, with immigrant parents. I was supposed to be a doctor. A lot of Asians relate to that. You're either a doctor, a lawyer, or you're a failure. Maybe a pharmacist, okay? Let me just say that. But anyways, here I am. I'm none of those, okay? And yet, my father, before he passed about a year ago, said to me the other day, I'm so glad you didn't go into medicine. It's interesting how life turns around. But it took 40 years to hear that, if you guys can relate. But anyways, I think there is an important thing. I woke up every morning on a Saturday or Sunday, did rounds with my father, sat in the doctor's lounges, listened to doctors talk. All I ever wanted to do was really medicine, right? And, I just want you to know, and I've talked to some faculty folks here, keep your eyes and ears open. Doors will open and close, and the ones that close doesn't mean that you're not supposed to go that direction. It just means, maybe there's some other direction you need to go. Right? It's not a failure to say that that door didn't open for you. When you go into pharmacy and you go into different things, there's so much more than just being in retail, okay? That's not what I expect a lot of you to do. If that's what you want, do it well. If it's not, the world is open to you. I can tell you, I started my career as a peace officer, and I give a shout out to my brother-in-law who's here. He was a peace officer as well. I mean, You know, when you carry a gun and you do inspections, people stare at your gun while you're asking questions. It's a strange phenomenon. But anyways, that was what I'd had. When I was with the state of California, I had a small badge and a lot of power. I mean, we could embargo products. We could take, you know, fraudulent products off the market. I was involved in everything from Chinese patent medicines being snuck into the country to everything else. Little did I know that I would end up in pharmaceuticals and drugs, because when the FDA came knocking, I joined the U.S. Public Health Service. The old Everett Koop and David Kessler was the commissioner at the time for FDA. And I said, yeah, let's go not only statewide, but let's go into the national, right? I can do national inspections, I can get around and do different things. It was a great time. We had the generic drug scandal at that time where FDA employees were being bribed by pharmaceutical companies to get their products approved faster. And so I came in at a very unsettling time, right? And if you think about the FDA, it's interesting because it's an agency that was born out of tragedy, right? 30, almost 50 years ago, we had an issue with ethylene glycol contamination in cough syrups that killed a lot of children, right? People were dispensing it and it got mixed up. Nowadays, we just heard just recently, you know, I was at an FDA conference, and we're having the same issue with DEG and ethylene glycol contamination, right, in nasal sprays and ophthalmics and different things. So I'm working on the same kind of issues that I worked at before. This year, with the FDA, and I still speak like I come from there, but just think about it. I mean, we had serious drug shortages in oncology drugs, right? Almost 16 or so major oncology drugs, including all the platinum drugs. You know, so if you had cancer and you understand how important it is to have those platinum drugs, they were not available, right? And hospitals were on very low and short supply. The agency and us fought for that. We had COVID, right, and emergency use authorizations to get COVID vaccines on the market faster than the normal FDA route. And there are a lot of things I don't like about the FDA, trust me. Sometimes it takes too long to get things approved, right? But these are all the things that we do. We have probably the best FDA and getting products approved, safety, efficacy, all that weighed in across the globe. I hate to say I'm a little biased, but I come from there. You know, when you look at a lot of the things that we're dealing with now, the hot topic that you'll face as pharmacists are following what the agency does. It's like ophthalmics. I think a lot of you are realizing that now a lot of our OTC products are contaminated. We're having issues with blindness, irreversible. We're having a lot of issues with eye infections for products that don't meet the standard that we have because FDA for so long looked at things. Look at the last year, 23 cell and gene therapy products. I mean, translational medicine is moving, right? We are moving in that direction where everything is either autologous, allogenic. You know, you talk about mRNA, you talk about CAR T, you talk about bispecific monoclonal antibodies, vaccines. That is all there now, and we're moving, right, very quickly. Artificial intelligence is coming, and they're talking about it more and more about how you deliver a protein or an enzyme or an antigen specific to fix and cure cancer and things like this. So I think, again, it's really important. When I was at Irvine, you know, I love the smell of eucalyptus. I mean, some of you get wind shear, and I think there's a lot of anteaters in the house. I apologize to all my other non-anteaters, but you go show them in this class, okay? It's not all about being an anteater. But again, just remember, when you come and fall through these places, there are going to be doors and things that open. When I graduated here, I applied to 38 medical schools. If you go back into 1984 when I graduated, and count them, that was probably every medical school in the country. That's how bad I wanted it, right? And that door I knocked on, and then I realized it's never going to open, right? So what did I do? I applied to 3 schools of public health. I got into Cal, SDSU, and UCLA. I ended up going to UCLA and got my master's in public health. And then from there, I kept knocking on that door thinking, hey, I'm at the med center, right? I'm here at UCLA Health Sciences. I could probably go the MD PhD route. Knocked on that door and then decided at some point I didn't want to take the MCATs again. So again, you all can understand and relate. It wasn't meant to be. So I ended up going to work for the state. I was a peace officer. I ended up going to work for the FDA, and then I ended up forming a consulting firm. And like I said, these doors just kind of open and close. But you know, I think the thing that I can tell you and teach you is be persistent, right? Be persistent in the right way, right? And like I said, I think really trying to make sure that you have everything that you have in front of you and take advantage of every opportunity. Time is something that's really important. You know, one of the famous leaders that I used to follow is Jack Welch. Jack Welch says, you know, if you want to be a CEO or a leader, Don't be just a CEO, but be a chief meaning officer. Give meaning to everything in your life, right? So as you look around, it's really important to know where you're going, why you're going there, but more importantly, to take others with you because you tell them why you're going there and motivate those around you to want to go that same direction. I think, again, it's really important to have meaning in your life. And again, sometimes, just ticking the box and getting through school and going where you want to go. But I challenge you all right now, surprise me, right? Surprise me with where you end up. Right? Surprise me with something that you're not thinking about right now because you were willing to think about other things as you went through your career. I certainly did. I did everything that I could do to be a doctor, and I couldn't get there. And so again, it was really important. So that's really what I want you guys to understand. The first 2 points is make sure that you look at the doors that are in front of you. Take the time to do it. Don't just be narrow-sighted or tunnel vision. Look around. Right? And then be sure to ask a lot of questions. I ended up where I am because of where I didn't want to be, okay? And I think, again, it's really important to think about that. Again, we're at a point in our career where Dean Hirsch said, we're able to give back. And I would challenge every one of you in this room, life is not about taking, it's about giving. And I think for me, to be able to give back, and we're talking about just being able to earn money to give it back, I don't want it anymore. Just believe that or not, whether you believe it or not, it's not to have another shiny object or another car. I don't even own a Mercedes. I think I give everything that I want at some point back to the world that needs it, right? And I think that's something you can do either amongst your community, in your state, city, or even in the countries that you may ending up being in. But I think, again, look for those needs and be there. Well, the last point, because I know I'm running out of time, is really, why am I here? And this is something that is maybe shocking to some of you young folks, but I got married when I was 25. I asked my wife this morning, how long have we known each other? We've known each other for 41 years. Just think about that. We've actually been married for 35. We celebrated our 35th wedding anniversary. But I could tell you this, let me just say it this way, and I think it's something that I got from Denzel Washington when I was listening to one of his speeches. It's really 35 years that we've been together. It's really more been 35 years of sacrifice for her. It's been 35 years of forgiveness. I do things wrong every day, even today. I'm sure she can think of some things yesterday that I did wrong that she's forgiven me for. So again, for your partners and your men or your spouses out there, just remember, you need a good, strong support system. Going through this program is going to be tough. Thank your family that's here. I am so excited to see all of you guys have family here to cheer everyone on. It's just the start, right? But I think, again, with my wife, it's 35 years. It's 35 years of forgiveness. You got to forgive one another once in a while, right? If not all the time. It's 35 years of love, just real love. What does that mean? It's 35 years of teaching me faith, right, and how to be better. So I think, again, these are things that I just want to acknowledge. She's sitting here, and I can't look at her because otherwise I'll start crying. But anyways, again, it's really important. I think one thing that's really important as well, I liked about Denzel's speech, because I listen to all these speeches, obviously, when it's 3 in the morning. Small minds talk about people, gossip. Don't be small in your thinking, right? Good minds think about events, things that happen, facts. But great minds think about ideas. So come up with those ideas, okay? And I think that's what I really like to end with you guys today. Like I said, this road called life is going to be in front of you. It's not straight, and sometimes you have to step off that road. But remember, there's a lot of twists and turns and bends. And someone reminded me one day, Jeff, just don't forget to make the turn, right? And I think that's the best advice I can give you, honestly. It's fun, right? And it's maybe a crazy road ahead of you, but make the turn. Make the turn with your partners, make the turn with your family, and find out where you need to be. Like I said, I hope you enjoy this journey. I give you all my blessings and congratulations and thank you for all the hard work you've done already, okay? But I can only tell you, I was working from 9 o'clock in the morning to 9 o'clock last night on a report, even before I had the time to talk about this speech. It's a lot of hard work, but the more you put into it, I can guarantee you the more you get out of it. All right, thank you guys. Congrats to everyone. And I wish you the best.
Thank you, Mr. Yoon. Thank you very much for those inspiring words and insight into a lot of different things. I love that you apply to all those medical schools. It's like, and he is an extremely influential person. I think it is very good that you didn't get into medical school, actually. You've done great things. So members of the PharmD class of 2027 and members of the pharmacy profession who are present here in our audience today, please stand as we recite the oath of a pharmacist. You can use the back of your program as a guide, and I'm going to walk you through it one line at a time, so please report after me. We ready? Everybody got your program? Okay. Okay. Wait. I gotta find my thing there. I promise to devote myself to a lifetime of service to others through the profession of pharmacy in fulfilling this vow. I promise to devote myself to a lifetime of service to others through the profession of pharmacy in fulfilling this vow. I will consider the welfare of humanity and relief of suffering my primary concerns. I will promote inclusion, embrace diversity, and advocate for justice to advance health equity. I will promote inclusion, embrace diversity, and advocate for justice to advance health equity. I will apply my knowledge, experience, and skills to the best of my ability to assume optimal outcomes for all patients. I will respect and protect all personal and health information entrusted to me. I will respect and protect all personal and health information entrusted to me. I will accept the responsibility to improve my professional knowledge, expertise, and self-awareness. I will accept the responsibility to improve my professional knowledge, expertise, and self-awareness. I will hold myself and my colleagues to the highest principles of our profession's moral, ethical, and legal conduct. I will hold myself and my colleagues to the highest principles of our profession's moral, ethical, and legal conduct. I will embrace and advocate changes that improve patient care. I will embrace and advocate changes that improve patient care. I will utilize my knowledge, skills, experiences, and values to prepare the next generation of pharmacists. I will utilize my knowledge, skills, experiences, and values to prepare the next generation of pharmacists. I take these vows voluntarily with the full realization of the responsibility with which I am entrusted by the public. I take these vows voluntarily with the full realization of the responsibility with which I am entrusted by the public. You may now be seated. So students, our entire School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences community is behind you as you begin your path to becoming a student pharmacist. We cannot wait to see everything you will accomplish during your time here with us. As you venture onto the next phase of your life, education and career, take time to reflect on what it took for you to get here. You have overcome so many obstacles, and you will do the same thing in the PharmD program. Although you may be feeling some uncertainty, you should feel confident in your abilities that have carried you to this point. You will graduate with a wealth of knowledge that will shape your future. In our program, you will be taught by scientists who are pioneers in the discovery, development, and delivery of new drugs, devices, and diagnostics. You will be trained by clinical pharmacists to be the next generation of pharmacists who will have the power to make life-changing impacts on the lives and health outcomes of patients and their families. This journey through the PharmD program will be marked by a series of challenges, struggles, and difficult decisions. But you will also experience joy, accomplishment, and collaboration. Live in these moments. Cherish the memories they will become, and face all of it with bravery, compassion, and clarity. And always remember, Fortune favors the bold. Thank you to all of the family and friends who have supported these students today and throughout their journey to becoming a pharmacist. Your continued encouragement will serve as an essential resource for their success. Now, students, I would like you to rise, turn around, wave to all your family and friends, and applaud and say thank you for all of us. You could not have done it without them. And family and friends, they will still need you. Okay, you may be seated. Thank you. Okay. And finally, we're coming to the close of our program. And welcome to our newest UCI anteaters. But we cannot leave without teaching you and doing the zot, zot, zot. So for those of you that do not know what I'm talking about, first of all, our proud mascot is an anteater. The runner-up, I am told, was a unicorn 50-something years ago. We have an anteater. His name is Peter the Anteater. So if you remember the BC comics, there was a little anteater, and you'll see some of us wearing this. And if you remember that comment, when the anteater would get the ant, his tongue would come out. It would go zot, zot, zot. Okay. That's what we do here, okay? So, all right, this is our rallying cry, but you must know how to do it, so I'm going to instruct you. So you hold up both of your hands, okay, and then you pull your 2 fingers down, middle fingers on your thumb, kind of like that. You don't leave it like this because this would mean that you were in Texas. We are not the Longhorns, okay? Now I'm going to turn mine so you can see this very small thing. If you push your fingers out, the 2 fingers there, and then you move them down a little. Can you see? There's a little snout. That's the snout of Peter the Anteater. Okay? So now we got it. Push it back like this. Okay, now what we do is we go zot, zot, zot on the count of 3. Everybody ready? 1, 2, 3. Zot, zot, zot! Yay! And with that, and we can all practice at the reception, that does bring us to the conclusion of our white coat ceremony today. And on behalf of the University of California, Irvine, and the UCI School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences, I congratulate, and please join me in congratulating the PharmD class of 2027. Woo! So at this time, I now ask everyone to stand as we begin the recessional of the platform party and students. I would ask that each of those of you that are guests to please remain at your seat. The platform party will proceed first, then the class led by Dr. Jill Richardson and Mrs. Hetty Ha. After the students have departed, we ask that our guests exit out the back doors, and please join us for the reception that follows. The students will arrive at the reception a little bit late because we'll be taking some class photos before then. So once again, and with that, congratulations, students, class of 2027.